What's up, gamers? What's up, nerds? There, you happy? There, we've got our
Every week.
intro now.
That's
there we
it.
go.
Andrew every
Set.
single week. What's up, gamers? Yeah, that's perfect. Cool.
Nerds.
That doesn't need a workshop at all.
No, I thought let's just make it as cringy as possible.
Yeah.
Especially when I've got like some broccoli top going on. I am broccoli.
Dude, I got some mean curls going on.
Yeah.
Sideburns. Look at these bad boys.
Oh, dude, yeah,
clean.
mine's fuck. See, the problem with my hair grow out is it doesn't go long because it's so thick. My hair just poofs.
I feel like we talk about our hair at the start of the podcast every week because of lockdown. Is it
Lockdowns just kill. Like,
it's the
we
hair
need to
podcast.
explain. We need to explain that there's a reason why our hair's so
Some
fucking.
fool's gonna come into this and he's gonna be like, "Fuck, their hair's long," and then they'll watch and they'll be like, "Oh, okay." And that's why we're
their
doing
hair's
it.
fucking munted. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ, do these guys not know what hairdressers are? And partially no, but partially yes.
Yeah. I've forgotten what a hairdresser feels like.
Yeah, but how have you been, dude?
No, I've been good, man. I've been good. As everybody knows, we've been posting some gameplays of a very specific, very certain game, and you've been playing it too.
Oh yeah.
I want to jump right into it.
Bits and pieces, yeah. Go into it.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Let's get into this mixed bag of a game. This giant mixed bag.
It is a bit of a potluck.
I love this game. I want to preface this with I fucking love this game. And when it's working, it's a solid 9.5 out of 10. But it's early access. So it doesn't work 40% of the time.
Screws you around, can send you back hours of progress.
Yeah, well,
and I think hours. That's happened to me twice, two or three times.
It's happened to Tolga and I as well, which comes up in the next episode. But my biggest problem with it is actually I don't care about having to manually save. But the problem is
it doesn't work.
When you manually save, it's okay. That's all right. I'm okay with manually saving when games only require you to manually save. You know, you look at the old Elder Scrolls games, you had to manually
there's
save.
Nothing wrong with that.
However,
but when I had you in the game when you have friends that join your session and then they leave, that character then glitches out, and if you click onto that character, your game glitches out, and they don't move, they don't do anything.
I can fix that. What you do is you have to right click on the person and type, and there's like an option to group, and it regroups them. But it's really esoteric. You'd think it should just automatically regroup them.
My cleric was just standing there for hours.
Oh, really?
It was a party of 3 for a while.
Well, I agree. There are some really weird things, but I think those are things that will be easily fixed over time. I 100% recommend this game once it comes out. That's my big caveat is it's a really fun game, but it's early access. And it's really early access.
You know what I don't like about it though? The fact that I have to spend time to level up and learn how to play all these other characters at the same time. I would rather prefer to play my character that I created, the one I chose the class to play, his proficiencies, that I want to play that character. I don't want to have to care about these other characters and level up, this should be specific for them and I'll do this and that. I know that they've got their reasons for it and it benefits the game in some ways. I don't care enough.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, welcome to most turn-based RPGs, Mitchell.
Yeah,
that's a turn-based RPG thing. That's all.
I would just like them to be more automated.
I get that. The only problem is
having my character.
Right. The only problem is having it automated though is then it falls into people complaining that the AI is trash.
That is true. There is two sides to this.
Personally, I think I'd rather them give the option because the other good thing about having the option is you can maximize the effectiveness of your party.
Yeah,
I understand what you're trying to say because I struggle with these games. I fucking suck at them.
It takes a lot of energy, you know.
Yeah, I really suck at these.
A lot of energy and just to understand it all. And D&D is like that. You know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. But in D&D, I don't have time to learn how to play a wizard on top of learning my rogue character, or when I'm playing a blood hunter,
Right. Right.
I'm not going to learn how to play I don't know, a cleric and their spells. It's too much.
I
In
get
D&D
that.
sense.
I do think though that the actual core mechanics, because like remember, I don't know anything D&D, right?
Yeah.
I know fuck all, and early on, I was getting Tolga to help me, going like, yeah, this is a decent spell, this is a decent spell, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like once we got our third party member, I was just like, okay, I get this shit now. Like, as in, I don't understand the spells. Like, the wizard boy came in, and I was like, I have no fucking clue
It's the
what
spells
spells
that
are what.
get you. Those
But
require a lot of time.
Yeah, what I've learned is what to look out for with them. Like that the one thing that this game does help with, and it does simplify it in. It's not like D&D where there's like fucking hundreds of spells that you can choose from. They've got a specific amount that you'll slowly unlock more. And like I do appreciate they give you just straight numbers, which obviously D&D also does.
Yeah.
But the numbers, you can tell what's going to be useful just by looking at the numbers now. You know, like a 2d6 is or like a 1d4. But then if you read this, like there's a spell, it's a 1d4. But if you look at it, it shoots 4 times. So it's a 1d4 times 4. It's technically a 4d4.
Yeah.
And
it's
like
all dependent on the spells. Yeah.
Of course, but like you know, if you look at the numbers, I find that it is actually quite self-explanatory now. At least now that I'm into it more.
No, I think the mechanics of the game are fine, and it's fun. Right now, for me personally, trying to keep up with like Destiny, I'm not even playing Genshin Impact because I just don't have the time for it anymore.
I stopped. I got bored of that game.
I still think it's a
honestly.
good game. But like,
I think it's good. I just got bored.
For the people out there, not know, I recently got a puppy, so I'm taking care of this thing. I just don't have the time for these sort of games.
Look, I totally get that. I do think though that.
What do you think of the maps? Like, because you played with me a little bit on Baldur's Gate when I was streaming it.
Yeah.
That area where he was like, okay, talk to the main guy of the tieflings or that group, that village group. Couldn't find him. He was nowhere on the map.
Really? That must have been a glitch because we found him easy.
He was nowhere.
Really?
Interesting. And I looked at the quest, you know, you have your big yellow diamond.
And it says talk to Zevlor, yeah.
Nowhere.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That must have been a glitch then, because that did not happen for us at all.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting situation. And this game is filled with glitches. Like, yeah. I think that's why I said, like, I would 100% recommend this game once it's fully out.
Or even after they've put in some nice patches for.
No, I still stand by once it's fully out, because as soon as they release the next update with the next act, there's going to be glitches back in because they're going to input some new things and it can fuck with the game more.
Can I ask you? Because you know the character development of this game, and then it makes you make a waifu, or your husband.
You can choose to romance characters. Yes.
Does that come in? Have you come up? That
hasn't come in yet. The like creating Tolga and I call her our quote unquote queen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, we have. I do not think that that'll come into play until near the end of maybe the first act.
Right.
I find that this is going to happen once you get to Baldur's Gate, at least.
Maybe.
I think that's where it's going to come in.
Yeah, I'm interested to keep playing this game. I think it's really good. I think for D&D fans, it's a really good homage to it. It's just, it takes time. It takes a lot of time and understanding and patience.
I think there are a few flaws with it, of course. One of the things I really got, and again, this will come in later episodes, we are going to have a montage of me breaking down.
Yeah.
But there's a conversational mechanic where you roll a d20, a 1d20, and depending on what your skills are, it's a conversational roll. And you either do persuasion, intimidation,
deception,
arcana, deception, investigation, etc., etc., etc. And depending on obviously your skills, it'll give you a number that you have to hit. So let's say, for example, it's a 15. Now I explained it to you over the stream. We didn't understand it for ages, and we were confused because
I thought it would add on to the number you roll.
Yeah, that's what it normally
but
is.
It's
but instead, it takes away from the originally or the originally set number.
You have to hit a number in order to succeed. That number is lowered due to your proficiency,
by whatever your skills are,
your plus whatever.
Because I was getting pissed because I thought I was getting fucked over because and this was shit luck. I had a +2, +3, so I had +5.
+5,
essentially.
Yeah, that's good for an early character.
It was a really great one, and so essentially I went from a 10 to a 5, and I managed to hit a fucking 4 twice. I was so mad, so fucking mad.
You gotta love the dice, dude. The dice,
dude. But I thought it was wait, but it's a 5. I hit a 4 and I got a +5. What the fuck? I was getting so mad.
But I like that they did that because it does take out that factor. If there was fuck ups or if they didn't add on, so you know straight away what your number you have to hit, and if you don't get it, that's the dice.
Yeah, but I mean, my problem with it was that it's not explained at all.
It isn't.
So I would like that it's explained, because I thought I was getting fucked over, and I thought there was a glitch happening with the game.
Maybe it was explained. Maybe we missed it. I don't read a lot, so.
No, because Tolga and I were fucking sitting there we were analyzing everything. We were
well, there you go. Another thing that I think would be really good for the game, I don't think they'll ever do it, but I want to be able to play with other people's characters in the party.
Yes.
And I know that they'd be like, oh, but they're different levels. They'd be either overpowered or underpowered. Okay, well then either...
Why don't we create it? It's like a server, create a campaign
have a thing
with them.
Where you can tell the server that they're on what level they're at and match it. And then they either have to take away stuff from their character or put stuff up. And then once you go back to your server, it goes back to its normal self.
Yeah, or even just what if you could do similar to D&D, you create a campaign, you already have 4 people in your in your group, and so they create characters when you start the campaign. They create characters with you, and then so that way you're starting from 0, even doing something like that, because that's something that I'm pretty sure Divinity Original Sin 2 had, or I could be wrong. There is a co-op in their previous game, but I don't know how it works.
Again, early access, they could do a million things with this game that we don't know about yet.
I want to point out, because I've heard a lot of people go, oh, it's not gonna come out of early access, don't get too excited. I understand why people say that, because early access has a really bad stigma.
Yeah,
they do, and it's very fair to have that stigma, because a lot of games that do go into early access never come out.
Nope.
Majority do. However, given Larian Studios' track record of literally all their games before this, which are the last 2 games, so Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, were both started in early access.
And they're highly rated games now.
Yes, and they both started in early access and then came out as fully fledged games. So to say that it won't come out, and don't bother. Their track record gives them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And people going, oh yeah, but it's also not at the scale of this game. Yes, but Divinity Original Sin 2 was at a much grander scale compared to 1. So you'd expect them to then amp it up more.
This game's huge. This game's absolutely huge. And it's going to get bigger.
And it's gorgeous. Can we mention it's fucking gorgeous?
It is gorgeous. It really does bring the world alive.
It is a beautiful game. But my only problems are problems that are kind of they are things that will just happen when it comes to it being in early access. They are all the flaws that I've really found with the game is that is tied with the fact that it's in early access. I love all the mechanics.
Really?
Yeah, I'm enjoying all the mechanics. I actually think they're better than because I enjoyed Divinity Original Sin 2, but I struggled with the combat.
I don't like how I have to move my character with the clicking in the place. That'd be fine in turn-based combat. When you mean
you don't
but if you're just exploring the world, I think it would be just so much easier if you're clicking on a character. Okay, I'm playing this character now. Can I move him with WASD?
I can understand that.
You still have middle mouse, so you can move around your camera and see.
I think
know?
what would be even a nicer option would be, instead of having it be WASD, because it's a bit weird to do that in an isometric type of world. Sometimes it can be a bit of a struggle. Do what Diablo did, which is hold shift and then left click, and your character will just follow the mouse wherever the mouse is pointed. Just do something like that even. I agree. It is a pain to have to fucking double click constantly.
Yeah, I don't like it. But
I agree. Whereas like if you just did the shift click, your mouse is now controlling where you move. I agree. That would be nice. Just like something where it's instead of having to click constantly. But like that's a minor problem.
It's not big, but it would be nice, you know.
Yes, that's an ease of use, but like the main core mechanics I think are phenomenal. I really enjoy it. I love the magic system. I love the actual party system. I actually prefer it over, again, Divinity Original Sin 2. I actually think that this game, so far in terms of combat, just surpasses Divinity so much, and
Really?
I find it a lot more friendly.
Big call.
I find it a lot more new player friendly, because like I said, I struggled with Divinity Original Sin 2's combat. I really struggled with it. I got into it eventually, but I fucking struggled. Like I had a mad fucking problem with it to begin with. Whereas
it took me a while to get used to this combat style.
I found that like the way it pointed things out was a lot simpler and made a lot more sense compared to Divinity's. I think also what helps is like with Divinity, all your movement, etc., cost AP, right? So you didn't have, unlike in Baldur's Gate where you can move and then you can also attack. You didn't get that with Divinity. You could accidentally move through all your action points, and then not be able to use an ability. And so sometimes you'd fuck yourself over without realizing. And that was one of my other problems.
It goes a little weird, the turn-based system, when you have a friend in your session. Because when I was doing combat with you and one of my viewers was playing with me at one point, they were having their turn, and I'd finished my turn with my character, and I couldn't do anything until he finished his turn, but I could still move my character and do my stuff. So if I went to click somewhere, and I accidentally clicked, he would move when I didn't want him to move, and I ended his turn because the guy in my party hadn't finished his turn.
Interesting.
Which doesn't make sense. So technically, I'd ended the guy's turn, press space, but yet he could still move.
Interesting. Okay, that's definitely. I feel like that's again like a glitch that's been that's an oversight.
Yeah.
That, actually there is one thing, and again I believe this is to do with early access, and I believe they'll fix this. I can't fucking wait for them to fix this, because again, in the later episodes, you'll get me complaining about this a lot. The enemy AI.
Yep.
When it's their turn, sometimes they will just fucking stand there and wait upwards of 15, 20 seconds. Just fucking wait, do nothing, and then sometimes they'll move, sometimes they'll just freeze. They won't even fucking move. And they'll be like, there was a mission where I literally had a 3-minute pause of watching an enemy not do anything because it was their turn, but they didn't move and they didn't end their turn. Which is clearly a bug. It's a bug.
100%.
But that shit is really annoying because when a turn-based, a tactical turn-based game works well, the AI is already preparing their attacks and their movement before they have their turn. Before their turn's even out, and then if you move and stuff, they then quickly adjust. Whereas this game obviously isn't always doing that. And so I've had a lot of problems where there was a moment where an enemy summoned a Beastmaster summoned a spider. And literally every time it would turn to this spider, the spider would do fucking nothing.
Nothing. You remember the fight with the harpies? At the town?
I don't think. Pardon?
The harpy battle?
I don't think I did the harpy battle.
It was at the town that you just led me to, right?
Druid Grove.
Off to the side. Yeah. And there's a battle with harpies. And they were really glitchy. One of them would attack, or two. One
I
or
don't
two
think
would
I
attack.
did the harpy fight.
Yeah, and then you get two of others, literally just sitting at the top of a hill. And when they did move, they would be still, and then all of a sudden, they've like teleported. They've just gone glitched.
Yeah,
like to where their movement is. So there's a few AI combat
like I said,
problems.
there are a lot of glitches. That's why I cannot recommend this game right now, because I think it needs to be,
especially for the price
ironed
tag.
out. Yeah, because like, to be fair, with the price tag, the price tag is what their game's going to be sold at when it comes out as well.
Yeah, it's not going to
so
rise.
That they didn't do what a lot of people did in early access, which is normally they give you an early access price and then a full game price as well once it comes out. They did look, we're just going to do, this is the price and this is it. Which it's still cheaper than most games.
With us.
It's still cheaper than a lot of games on Steam anyway.
Is it? It was $90.
For AAA games, yeah. For full priced RPGs, it's still cheaper. It's not dramatically cheaper, but it's still cheaper. Okay. And for what we will be eventually getting, I do think it will be worthwhile. Fingers crossed. Again, though, I also want to point out, Larian Studios, they came out and said there's a lot more people than we actually projected that have bought this game. So thank you for...
Yeah, it had a lot of hype.
And but even so, they expected a lot, but it was still more than they expected. So good on them.
Congratulations to Larian Studios.
I can't wait till your game is 100% out.
Yep.
It is completely done. I cannot fucking wait, because this game is so much fun. What's out already, but there are just these minor issues that I can't. These issues,
and it can ruin the experience for some people.
It can. It really can.
Let's face it. Some people are not patient. You know.
Oh, dude.
And if they get stuck by that autosave problem and then they have to go back, like I had to go back to the tutorial stuff.
Yeah.
With the start.
That's
battle. I did that 3 times.
It's really frustrating as well, because like the autosave feature, you get 2 autosaves in the tutorial, and then none until you get to Druid Grove, which is really fucking weird. And I'd like an explanation as to why this autosave doesn't work.
I would like to ask why there's no autosave on a long rest. I said this to you, I think. If your party is going and ending the day,
it should automatically
save your progress. I agree. Because you are literally going, okay, we've done this, we need to rest.
We've done quite a lot.
Come back to it.
Yeah.
Let's save, let's rest. That should be a perfect opportunity for an autosave. I think that's just an obvious thing that should have been implemented.
Again, I don't mind having to manually save, but I agree. A manual save would still count if I've gone and done a long rest. But like, I also don't mind if I had to always have to click escape and save. But the problem is you've implemented an autosave feature, and the autosave feature isn't working.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be as mad if there was no autosave feature, because immediately, if there's no autosave feature, I know in the back of my head I have to constantly save. Yeah. But having that small knowledge of, but there's an autosave feature, I should be fine. And it'll fuck you. It'll really fuck you. It happened to me. I got all the way to Druid Grove. We went and fought some, and I got fucked by autosave because it was like, the autosave from when you first enter Druid Grove. We got that. We did all the stuff. We saved Arabella, all that stuff. Ran to go towards the goblin camp. Accidentally started a fight with some ogres, which brutally butt fucked us. 3 ogres with 30-something health. We got fucked.
Ogres be heavy.
Yeah. And so then we got brutally butt fucked. And then I had to go all the way back to that first entering into Druid Grove. Yeah. And had to go through everything. I no longer have Arabella saved, like all that shit. Because parts of the game are rolled on and based on quote unquote luck.
Arabella,
your entire story,
both of us.
Your entire story can change, which is really heartbreaking because
I wanted to save her twice.
Well, I know what the overall outcome is to Arabella dying. I've gotten to the point where there is an actual narrative situation that happens due to that.
I had the same as you.
gutted that I couldn't save her.
Well, I saved it, right? Because I did persuasion, which I had proficiency in, so I made it. Then, when I had to go all the way back because of the autosave glitch, because of your character glitched out and my screen glitched out, whatever. So I had to go back to the save that I had, which was obviously before all of this. I left the decision up to my viewers, which decision we made. And they chose the nature one. I had to make a 19. I did not hit that 19, and she died.
We had one where we had to hit a 19. No, I think it was an 18, and we hit like a natural 20. We're like, yes! We got happy. I mean, like, when you hit those rolls, though, it is such a feeling of pure elation. You're just like, this is great.
But I want to save her. And it's so annoying when you do save her, and then you have to go all the way back.
Yeah,
and then...
it's really frustrating. It's like, okay, I managed to hit this natural, like, I managed to hit this roll.
Now it's like, this isn't the story that I had.
Yeah.
I've just overwritten the story that I've created.
Now, obviously, again, the Arabella situation, it's got a minor role, but, like, it's still frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, it can completely rewrite where you, like, what happens later on, which it does.
Did you tell the parents?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, that was rough. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Especially because, like, the scene before was, thank you for saving her, and then it's like...
when you experience both of them. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's nearly 30
we
minutes.
We at Nerdspice do not condone child murder.
We don't.
Even if they
steal.
Fuck
you, Korga. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Or Karga, whatever your name is.
I know the character you're talking about. Didn't know that was their name.
Our title is... One of the titles for the episode is just Druids and Dicks. That's the title for the episode.
I did see that, actually.
When she saved, we saved her in that episode.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, the next episode she's dead.
Yeah. Anyways.
Don't be happy. Anyway, yeah, let's go into the news.
Yeah.
But no, it like I said, it's a great game. Like, overall, I think it will be worthwhile once it fully comes out.
Early access, obviously going to have issues.
Major issues. But it will. I believe it will be fixed, because a lot of them are bugs versus these are things that can't be fixed at all. You know. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into this. We're going to start off with a topic we haven't mentioned for a while. Epic versus Apple.
Oh, where's a snack? I got mints. Hang on, let me put a mint in for this tasty.
You gotta make sure you have a minty breath for this conversation. So we got a date for the trial.
Yeah,
we got a date first off. It'll be May 2021.
And who's suing who in this one?
This is the Epic suing Apple.
Sure, cool.
So the judge though has stated. And the judge has spoken out and said, you guys do realize, let's say if you guys win, you won't just be affecting Apple, it'll be affecting the PlayStation Store, Nintendo Store, and my Xbox as well. Yep. Because Apple owns a monopoly. You're complaining about a walled garden and them only being able to use their own store. Well, those same rules apply for Microsoft on their Xbox, on their Xbox consoles, PlayStation on their consoles, and Nintendo on their consoles. All very factually correct. And also, they came out and said to Apple, though, because Epic, last time we spoke about it, had succeeded in getting a restraining order on the whole Apple kicking off anything to do with the Unreal Engine and all that. And so Apple had to allow it. Yeah. Well, the judge has gone in and said, we're filing an injunction, so there's no way you can appeal it. Fuck off. You can't. Okay. It will not affect the people who use the Unreal Engine. Microsoft also came out. They actually said that they are on Epic's side, and they will actually open up their
My dog's going nuts. He's barking. Hang on, let me see if I can go grab him. Talk to the viewers for a little bit.
Bring it in. Bring in Luffy. So, we're about to meet Mitchell's dog. I've seen photos, but I haven't seen it living, it breathing. So it's very exciting. Ooh, I'm very excited for this. But you know what? I'm just going to go into some more Baldur's Gate conversation while we wait. Another thing I find interesting with Baldur's Gate is sometimes I find the characters to be a bit wishy-washy and changing. Yeah, never mind. Ignore the Baldur's Gate conversation. The Baldur's Gate conversation is done.
Say hello. Say hello, Luffy. This is Luffy.
Hello, you're very adorable.
You are adorable, aren't you? Oh, you're just going to slide down. All right.
We're going to use you to get all the views. Yes, we are.
He's already sick of me. He jumped off my lap. Anyways.
Anyway.
He doesn't like that.
So, anyway, as I was saying, Microsoft came out and said, yep, we're siding with Epic. We agree with what they're doing. And to be productive, we will open up our console a bit more.
Right.
So they're going to allow third-party stores that aren't Microsoft owned. They're not going to force developers to sell only on the Xbox, like on the Microsoft store for the Xbox console. Essentially meaning that Epic realistically could make an Epic Game Store on the Xbox app, or Steam could put a Steam store on the Xbox app, etc.
I'm confused.
Which I think is very good.
I'm confused. Could you explain that in a little more detail?
So, Microsoft, like on the Xbox console, you can only buy games through the Microsoft Store.
Yes. Oh, you're saying that Steam and all that can be on those consoles and buy games through them as well.
If Epic Games wins, they can no longer only have, like, they can no longer only sell, like, have the Microsoft Store. Companies could then create stores for the other consoles.
So does that affect exclusives?
No, it won't affect exclusives, because obviously, if PlayStation has an exclusive, they'll put it only on the PlayStation Network store.
Yeah.
And they won't give it to the other stores. It's just affecting how you can buy games on consoles online.
Okay. Yeah, that could be really good.
I think it's really good because, let's be honest.
So does that mean every store is going to have different prices?
They could.
And if that is that, if it's bought on, say, what happens to the money? So if it's purchased on Xbox, but it's bought from Steam, does Xbox get a cut of the Steam purchase, or does Steam get all of it?
I don't think... I'm not too sure. That I'm not too sure on. I'd assume
there'd be a cut.
Maybe, but the whole point is Epic's also complaining that about the cut. They're trying to sue due to the fact that there is a monopoly, etc. So
well, then should there be a industry-wide cut for this storefront stuff? If there's new laws coming in about new stores in consoles and all that.
Well, I mean,
so
I guess
the product, the company that owns the console that is supplying, what they purchased. Sorry. So the people that are supplying
I get what you're trying to say. That
the Xbox,
let's say someone wants to make
a 15% cut, and the Steam purchase, Steam will get the other 70 to 85% of that.
Well, and then you got to cut between the developers. I don't think that's how it's going to work, because the whole point is complaining that there is no independent stores on Apple. That's the problem, is that there's a monopoly, and so they're trying to get rid of that monopoly. It's the same as...
So you think Microsoft, it's just going to be, hey, here's a Steam game.
They're trying to make it more open like a computer. Like, Microsoft doesn't get a cut every time Steam gets a sale on a computer.
I think things are definitely changing in the industry.
And if this is if Epic wins. This is if Epic wins. However, Microsoft, I think, is trying to be just really productive and just saying we're just going to do it anyway. And with, again, consumer friendliness, good on you. But I hope I'd like for that to happen. I'd like PlayStation to have to go, maybe we need to lower our prices on our fucking store.
Oh, mate.
Nintendo's the big one for me, because Nintendo does not lower their price ever.
They don't like other people.
Yeah.
Just in general, they don't work well with others.
The thing is, if Epic were to win, Nintendo can't legally stop them.
That's what I said to my ex-girlfriend. I don't know. Keep going. She can't legally stop me. No, I don't know.
That sounds really weird. That sounds really weird.
I know where you live.
Mitchell is going to be... We're going to be productive and fire Mitchell in case he commits any crime in the future.
Yeah, it's a trick. I don't even have an ex-girlfriend. That's why I got a dog. Not for that. Don't make that weird. Don't make that weird. This turned into something way beyond my comprehension.
Really
let's move forward.
Just zoom in on my face when I kind of went away.
No, it's just love. It's just I love you.
Anyway, so yeah, that's all there is so far. I just thought it was an interesting little topic, and it's the first big thing since the restraining order and all that.
That's cool. I look forward to the outcome.
I think. Look, and good on Microsoft just saying, yeah, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna fucking open up. Fuck it.
Yeah, nice. Trot on.
I think that's great. Anyway, let's move on. Look, one of the greatest games ever made came out this year.
E.T.
Yes.
Yes.
For the Atari, it got remastered.
Awesome. I cannot wait.
So, Marvel's Avengers hits 6 million players on PC. 6 million concurrent players. That's amazing. Except I'm lying to you. It's real. The real story is Marvel's Avengers player base dips below 1,000.
Oh, thank God. I thought I lost all hope in humanity.
Creating matchmaking issues. People can no longer find full parties because there's such a small player base.
We've done it. We've done it, everyone. I'm so proud of you. We've done it together.
Everything I said was what I wrote down. I was like, I'm just going to write out some absolute bullshit and then actually drop the real story afterwards.
Could you imagine if there was 6 million concurrent players on?
I'd say I'd give up on the video game industry, but I mean, we've got some games. We've got some news stories that help with that anyway. Like
my mental health.
I mean, is anyone surprised? No, not at all.
No.
This is what happens when you create a shitty live service game that doesn't need to be a live service, but 2, you don't even give a good reason to keep it alive. You know, shit loot. What's the point of a loot system that doesn't fucking work, that doesn't do things that people like in a loot system? Shit cosmetics. Like, the fact that I'm purchasing skins versus, like, actually cool, customizable pieces.
Yeah, dude, I want to floss. I want my Iron Man to floss. I mean, a bunny costume.
The best thing I could think of is Injustice 2, right?
Yeah.
Injustice 2 has a really good armor system where essentially you can grab pieces of different looking armor and put them on. So you've got arms, then legs, body, head.
That's how I build my body as well, yes.
But like, you know, you've got those different looking pieces of armor that you can then put on your characters, and they all look differently.
So even if you're coming up against another person with the same character, you look different.
Yeah, it's the same as Destiny. You know, you've got all the different pieces of loot that will make your character look different.
Every other Titan is inferior to me.
Sure. Whatever gets you through the day.
Oh, that's it. That's just facts. I only deal in facts. I hope you know that.
Okay.
Just know that.
Okay. But no, like that's just ignore it.
What do you mean no?
But no, I think that it was bound to happen. And like, what the fuck's coming out? You got some new heroes and shit. Like, the most interesting hero that's coming out comes out in March next year.
Yeah, the game's not going to be alive.
And even then, it's on the PlayStation only.
Yeah, the game's not going to be alive. They fucked this.
No, and like Crystal Dynamics has come out. So Crystal Dynamics, the developers, came out and said, we appreciate the support the fans that are still with us have given us, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, the most corporate bullshit. And then and we've got some great content lined up coming out. Like, you know, at the end of October, you're going to get more content and like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro, it's already dead. Like, I forgot it feels like this game came out 3 years ago. It came out like a month ago.
Yeah.
It
died like quick.
Yeah. Boom. Now, in good Marvel news, Insomniac announces that Miles Morales has gone gold. Yay!
Congratulations.
Yay!
Good work,
good Marvel
Miles.
game.
Good work.
Hey, Crystal Dynamics, this is how you do it.
That's how you get a franchise going.
This is how you make a game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, next one. Xbox has partnered with GameStop.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Now,
GameStop is really trying.
GameStop's dying.
It's trying to live.
It's trying so hard. But now for Aussie viewers, GameStop are the actual owners of EB Games for us. So
yeah.
I'd assume it's gonna then come over to us through EB.
No one uses EB anyways.
But what it's about is essentially Xbox is going to partner with GameStop for their Xbox All Access initiative. So, has someone come to grab Luffy?
Yeah, they wanted to put him outside so he doesn't pee on my carpet. Sorry.
That's fair. But as I was saying, the reason why they've partnered with GameStop is so that they have a storefront that can initiate the Xbox All Access, which is where you pay for Game Pass plus like an extra couple of bucks to get an Xbox One X for over 2 years.
Sure.
Like you pay it over 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's what Xbox All Access is, and so they needed a storefront that would actually allow, like, also do it. And so they partnered with GameStop to do that. And part of the deal is also they're giving like Xbox, like not Xbox, GameStop some stuff like tablets and shit to work within their store and blah 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 blah.
And lots of money.
Yes.
Please, sir, we just want to live. Here's some pebbles I got in my pocket. Thank you, sir. Thank you. He runs off.
Picturing him like breaking it with a fucking axe, like. Yeah!
What's his name? The one that went from Nintendo is now like the
Reggie,
CEO.
Reggie.
Yeah, little Reggie holding these pebbles. Look what I've got. Look.
I mean, I wouldn't be saying that considering he's a very rich man.
Yeah.
He's got pebbles, dude. He's got fucking grass.
Yeah, but GameStop is still where it is. There's no denying that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a small news thing. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Also,
now this is my favorite. This is my favorite one.
Yeah, go.
FIFA 21 Legacy has come out.
What does that mean?
Now it's like a spin-off of FIFA 21. They've started it in like FIFA 19, and it's for the Switch, I believe. It's essentially like that. It's their spin-off for the Switch. Now,
right,
came out. Why is it on my news segment? Well, shocking news, my dude. FIFA 21 Legacy is the exact same game as FIFA 20 Legacy and FIFA 19 Legacy. Not just it plays pretty much the same. No, it is actually the exact game. And here's the best part. Even on EA's website, for their, under Legacy, it says, they actually state that it's the same gameplay with no significant enhancements as FIFA 20. Same gameplay as FIFA 20 with no significant enhancements. The biggest change in the entire game is the menu. The menu's changed. They've changed the UI a little bit.
Count me in.
Now, but here's my favorite part as well. Even IGN called them out.
What are they not supposed to call them out?
IGN is normally
the love boys of FIFA.
No, they're just the love boys of AAA companies. Nearly every game gets at least a 7 or above. Not all the time, but most of the time. IGN's kind of like the dick sucker of the big companies in terms of games journalism. So they have a very bad reputation. As someone, I watched a video today talking about this, and they said, well, you can't spell ignorant without IGN. And I mean, yeah, it's true. They're shit. They're a bit of a shit one, but even they're like the person who reviewed this game said, and I state, and I quote, considering EA have copied and pasted their game, I'm going to do the same for my review of FIFA 20 Legacy last year and take off an extra point. So essentially they just grabbed their FIFA 20 review, which it also says like FIFA 20 throughout. It doesn't say 21 at all, and just pasted it and then gave it a 2 out of 10.
Why do people think this is an alright thing to do?
I mean, here's my thing, right? They did this, and they did it last year, and people still give them money.
It's because it's all those sporty guys that just skip out on English class and.
It's their fault that video games are shit.
Oh man,
it's them and the mobile community.
I mean, let's be honest. The people that are buying it, it's probably not their money. Most of them.
No, there are quite a few adults that play it. There's probably a few,
but if you're an adult and you're buying this shit and you're falling for it, you're an idiot.
Well, the thing is,
there's no if but maybe way around it. You're an idiot.
Yeah, I agree. They're the problem.
And if you're a kid, it's time to grow up, hun. You're gonna get a new game, and it's gonna be a real game, one that actually strives for consumer-friendly purposes. All right.
I mean, that's still very few and far between, like these days.
Sure, but okay. Get anything else. You're already doing better.
Look, FIFA is definitely bottom of the fucking ladder. Like any of EA's.
No. There's still one below it.
Sports games.
It's the NFL.
NFL. I'd say all sports games are the same.
That's what it is, Madden.
I'd say all sports games are the same. They're all at the bottom of the fucking.
It doesn't include Tony Hawk.
Well, I mean, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 was fucking shit.
Nah, it's still better.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, I'd put it at the bottom.
It tries. EA's not even trying.
No. Pro Skater 5 does not try.
I've never played the game, Andrew. Please, I know what I'm talking about.
Pro Skater 5 does not try. You blasphemy. Blasphemy. Anyway.
I'm basically the internet right now. Please, my opinion is worth the world to you, Andrew. I haven't got any facts or any evidence.
Yeah, no facts, but my opinion matters more.
Yep. Go on.
Okay. PlayStation 5.
Yes, what's happening?
It got delayed in India. It won't be coming out.
Sorry, my India fans. You're going to have to wait.
People wanted in India. And there's a reason why.
Okay.
Sony were fuckwits and didn't buy the trademark of the PS5. And so someone in October 2019, bought the trademark for PS5. And so Sony can't sell their car.
Really?
Yep.
Is that why they were like, all right, we're getting PS6, PS7, all the way up to PS10. They've got all the copyrights.
The trademarks that they bought were for the US and stuff and like Australia and all that, but they didn't buy it for India. India has a different copyright system. So they fucked themselves.
So what's happening now?
Well, they're going to have to try and they're going to have to take it.
Are they going to have to rename it for India purposes?
So it's either they're gonna take it to court and try and get the trademark.
No.
Or they're just gonna probably throw a bit of money at him and get it.
I mean, they can afford it. So.
Yeah, but I just found that really funny that
is funny. Take that, corporate companies.
I just found that really funny. Now another bit of PlayStation news, and this is again just. Who is actually mad? Oh, wait, the internet, because the internet's stupid. People are pissed because PlayStation announced the games that won't be... PS4 games that won't be backwards compatible for the PS5. And there's a lot of games, Mitchell.
I thought there was going to be... okay. I thought most games were going to be backwards compatible.
Nope, there's a lot of games that aren't backwards compatible. I want you to count every game that I mention.
Okay.
How many? You're going to do it with your fingers, okay? So these are the list of games that aren't backwards compatible. Afro Samurai 2. DWVR.
Sorry, I'm counting.
Hitman.
I'm counting like the internet. Am I counting wrong?
Just wait. Hitman Go. Joe's Diner. Just Deal With It. Robinson the Journey. Shadow Complex Remastered. Shadwin. TT. Isle of Man. We Sing. So that's 10 games, Mitchell.
You goddamn telling me I can't do We Sing on the PS5.
I know. What fucking... This is an actual complaint that people are having.
People have too much time. People need to go outside. They need to...
This is definitely... I have a controversial opinion when it comes to this, and that is, I personally do not think backwards compatibility is that big of a deal. Personally.
No, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's really nice to have, and it's a really great component of a console.
Yeah. Like, Xbox, look, they have great backwards compatibility.
If you love the game that much, you'll whip out your old console and play it like we did. I've gone back to my PS2 to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 before. You know, Spyro games. Fucking just go back. Sorry?
How often do you do that?
Oh, when I want to. If I have a big urge to play it. I haven't played Battlefront 2 in a few years, but I went back to it.
It's been a few fucking years, hasn't it? That's my biggest annoyance with all these people getting shitty over that.
How often are you going to play these backwards compatible games for? You're going to be too... my other dog going crazy. You're going to be too preoccupied with the new games coming out. Pardon you. Bless you. I think that's what the saying is in human terms. Yeah, you're going to be too concerned with the new games that are coming out.
I mean, look, I rarely go back and play older games.
Yep.
The PS3, I don't go back and play PS3 games ever.
Nah, never.
Who gives a fuck?
Yep.
PS2 games, yeah, sure, there are some games that I'd like to go back and play. But the problem is, anyway, I hook up my PS2 or I play on if the PS3 or PS4 had it, I don't get the SD version. It still looks blurry because the TVs aren't compatible anyway.
Yep.
It's not the same. It's just not the fucking same. Yeah, so I personally think the backwards compatibility, although yes, it's a nice feature. I think it's a
consumer friendly feature.
bonus.
Yeah.
But am I going to be realistically utilizing my PS5 to play Jack and Daxter?
How quickly people get distracted and go, oh, I'm going to do this now. Forget about this. Oh, no, now I'm going to go into this new thing because this is the hype. You know, yes, there are people that are going to play games and they're going to do hours and hours in it. But if they're that dedicated to a game, that they love it that much, they'll go back to the consoles that they have it on.
Yeah. And I mean...
That's my thinking. If you're not, let us know. But that's what I think majority of people would do.
The other thing is, you know, people are just trying to say, well, there are people that there is a market for these people. It's like, this market compared to the main core the core base of gamers, TM, does not fucking fit in that demographic. Majority of them, they buy the next console not to be able to play their previous games. They buy the next console for the next generational games. And like PS5 is doing at least, hey, PS4, you got it.
Yeah.
But like
10 games, guys, get over it. Get over it. See? My dog's barking at you because you're all idiots.
The dog's pissed. You pissed off.
You're pissing off Muffin. No, that one's Muffin. The other one's quiet. This one's Muffin, barking.
No, because you called it Meatball last episode.
Oh yeah, I did babysit it back in the early days where I didn't know him as well. Forgot his name, called him Meatball because he's fat. So, anyway.
That's what I was going off.
Yeah.
I just had in my head Meatball. That's all I know that dog has now. But no, look, that's the news, man. That's really it. There's not much else.
There was news. Sort of in Destiny. Well, it's more gossip. It's more gossip.
Actually,
I guess,
yes. You mentioned last week some shit. How is the
event? Yeah, people are still pissed because basically there's an event activity called the Haunted Forest, which is what people want to play.
This event, I know what the gossip is.
And basically, the reward system for this is you have to go through these branches. You have to defeat a certain number of enemies or percentage, and then you go defeat a boss, and then you go teleport to the back and you got to defeat another branch, and you got to see how many branches you can defeat in a certain time limit. Now, the chests at the end, there is one chest that you get, which depending on how far you go and how far you go into these branches, how many you defeat, you get a certain amount of candy and rewards, right? But and then there's four or five chests behind it, which gives you the exclusive stuff. How do you unlock those chests?
Let me just drop this, because I'm going to guess, because I've heard a little bit. Is it those chests, it does not matter how many branches you go into to open them, so people are going AFK to be able to open those chests?
That is correct, Andrew. The only way you can open these chests at the back is with cipher decoders. How do you get those cipher decoders, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it's by not playing the event activity and by playing everything else in the game that you don't really want to do. Good. Also, the drop rate is really, really low, and you only get one at a time. But I will say, since the drop of the event, they have now upped the drop rate of the cipher decoders, and you can get 2 at a time, so it's not as bad. But people are pissed because the event is basically getting you to play everything else. So 90% of the event, you're not playing the event activity. And then when you do, they're doing what you're saying, Andrew, and just going AFK, because the rewards chest at the end is only going to give you candy and maybe a mask ornament. So, you know? So it's not actually, you get candy everywhere. So you don't care about the candy. You know? So the rewards and going further into it doesn't get you anything. So
I mean, you'd think they'd have thought that through and gone, okay, the way you get all the exclusive items should be in the chest that is dependent on how far you go.
Yeah, I streamed it last night, doing a bit of a grind. And I said to Jamie, who was playing with me, I just went, they should do a thing where you can get these exclusive, because there's 2 exclusive weapons, right? 2 auto rifles.
Aren't they old weapons just with new rolls?
They are. So they're the 2019 to 2018 weapons that they brought out. No new weapon for this year, which has already pissed off a lot of people. But what they've done is they've put in new perks, so you can farm these weapons and try and get a good roll on them that is unique to them. But what they should have done is have them actually get those weapons for getting higher branch rewards, you know? So forget the chests at the back of cipher decoders. You know what? Have the chests with the cipher decoders, but you can only unlock them if you get past a certain branch as a reward.
That's the thing, like, why would you
that's maybe
majority chests?
But even that is bad. I think they should scrap cipher decoders. Sorry to keep interrupting, but
no.
You shouldn't have cipher decoders because it's encouraging the player base to not play the event activity, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I just think the simplest solution is, because obviously you said you have to go through branches, yeah? Each branch you go through unlocks a new chest. Like, that should realistically be just what, like,
you know, yeah, that is a really good idea. That should be how it's done.
That literally makes them want to do the gameplay. So each chest will then give you the chance.
Because it's a challenge, you know. It's the appeal to this event activity is how far you can get, how quickly you can get through these branches with the fire team you've got. It's a challenge. It's a challenging activity, and it's a lot of fun. I like it. The problem is I don't feel like I need to play it that much, and I don't get rewards for it because I don't have.
You don't get rewarded for playing it.
I don't have cipher decoders.
It's that problem with Marvel's Avengers, which is there's not enough reward. There's not enough reward to compel me to play this game.
Destiny, there is a rumor of what I was about to say before I went into all this shit.
Last week.
No, this is brand new.
Is it brand new one?
What I've just heard, I just watched a video on it. There's rumor going around that there's going to be a new event a week before the new drop of the DLC, because there's leaks, I guess, of a new emblem. It was called something protocol.
Anyway, you'll put it up on the video.
Sure, I can find a photo of it. Doesn't matter.
Find a photo, yeah.
And what it is, it's basically hinting at an event leading into the new DLC after Festival of the Lost has finished. Festival of the Lost, you would think would go right up to the new DLC which is the 10th of November. But it ends a week early. And this emblem is not linked to Festival of the Lost because everyone's done everything with it. So what people are thinking is there's going to be a real-time event, just like they did with the Cabal ship. I can't remember what it was called, the Almighty, where it blew up. You would literally sit there for hours, the missiles went, and then blew up and blah, 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 blah. This one, I think, is going to be on a bigger scale, because they're literally getting rid of content. They're getting rid of planets. Getting rid of Mars, Io, Mercury, and Titan. They're getting rid of those 4 planets.
Really?
So what I think is happening...
Yeah,
and there's all lore that's been happening as well in the background that people haven't noticed, where it explains the AI that live on that planet that give you your stuff and rewards, whatever it is, what they've done after your quest line, the last quest line, which is Exodus Evacuation, the evacuation quest line. And
is that on that's on Nessus? Yeah.
No, that's on Titan, Mars, Io, and Mercury. And how they're fighting the darkness, how they're fighting the thing. So what I'm thinking is, or what everyone's kind of thinking, I'm kind of borrowing information from what I've heard, is that there's going to be a real-time event where these planets get destroyed.
Right.
They get destroyed by the darkness, they get blown up or something drastic happens.
So,
maybe it's a quest line where you're going to these planets, you're in the middle of doing something, and shit goes, everyone dies on this planet, or it's going to hit the core, it's going to blow up. I don't know. But there is talk of a new event a week before the DLC. So if that happens, I'll bring it up in more podcasts. But I'm excited for it because they've screwed the pooch on the Festival of the Lost. Screwed the pooch. So they really need to make up for it.
It's an interesting concept, but I have questions. I have questions about the whole planet thing now.
Sure.
What are they putting in instead of those planets? Are they bringing in new planets or? So
that's to do with the vault system. So they're bringing out the Destiny Vault, where basically all that content goes into the vault. And they're bringing in Europa, which is the new destination that's coming in. They're also going to bring in the Cosmodrome, which, if you remember, is the Destiny 1 Earth thing. So that's all been bringing in. They're also bringing in a new player experience. So there's going to be a new AI who talks to everyone about how to play the game, everything in order, kind of takes them through everything, because they've got the Cosmodrome now, which is where Destiny starts. So they go there, walk them through everything, because my mates just started playing Destiny, and I had to walk them through everything, because there's no real new player experience. It's just
it's starting confusing. The game again is shit.
It's really confusing. So they're bringing in that as well. So there's new stuff coming in. They're going to be bringing in old raids like Vault of Glass and stuff. But these planets are being vaulted because no one likes them. No one goes on them anymore.
Yeah. So, like, for, let's say, someone who starts a new game, story-wise, they'll still go to those planets for those specific features or what?
I don't know.
How's the story going to work then?
I don't know. I don't have all the answers. All I know...
At Beyond Light and starts from the zero in the story.
That's a fair question. I don't know.
Right.
I don't have the answers for that. I don't know if Bungie's answered that question before. But
the only thing I can
planets
think
are
of
leaving, and you're going onto the Cosmodrome to start your Destiny experience now.
Yeah, because the only thing I can think of is to follow at least Destiny 2's main story. Well, they'd at least still have to do like maybe just some missions.
You don't actually get the story when you start a new game, new character. You have to go to Amanda Holiday in the shipyard and actually grab the, say, Red War campaign. You have to actually collect the Red War campaign from her. It doesn't cost anything, but that's how you get it. And then it gives you the quest lines to complete the story. You don't get it right off the bat. It's a choice. So maybe they'll just take away the choice, you know, if it impedes on the story.
Or me mic, me aux cord. Okay. Or they give you the choice, but it's an instant situation where on the map, obviously, Titan won't be there, and it just goes, hey, these few missions, you just gun through them. You go planet to planet to planet.
I mean, you could have Titan missions in cutscenes. There's still stuff on those planets, like Crucible maps, strikes, maybe, as well. But they're in the playlist sort of thing. So maybe there is a way that you can click onto a story mission from somewhere else.
Still story beat. There's whole story beats that revolve around those planets. Still.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is maybe there's ways that they can have an area
I just think it's an instance
that they can click on these missions and still play them at these planets without the planets actually being physically there, because they've still got the content partially there from those planets, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of what's happening in Destiny at the moment. People are pissed off at the event, but there might be something more to come, so stay tuned on that.
I mean, yeah, look, I said my opinion last week. I think, yes, it is shitty. Like, they had an event, like, at least
it doesn't make sense how they plotted it.
And the fucking rainforest thing, or whatever it's called.
Haunted Forest.
Pardon? Haunted Forest?
Haunted Forest, yeah.
Rainforest, Haunted Forest, same difference.
And it doesn't matter.
I think that's, like, the most bizarre thing, in my opinion. Like, look, not having all the content, I can give you leeway because of the pandemic, like I said. I can give you leeway. I don't 100% go, yeah, I forgive you. No, but I give you a bit of leeway. But that's a really bizarre design choice. That's not a pandemic. That's not tied to a pandemic.
It's not even the content that they haven't given us. It's how they've given
That's
it
how
to
they've
us.
made the actual mission. And it's a really weird design choice to be like, okay, so there's going to be one chest, and there's going to be 5 behind it. But the only chest
that you will want,
the only rewards that come with this one chest depends on how far you go, and they're not that decent. The most interesting rewards are in these chests that no one has to do anything for.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Bungie,
it's just,
you better hope this next season blows people away, because you wanted people. I mean, what is it with dance? You know, with your last move, how you finish the dance, how you finish the step. The last thing you see is what the judges are going to remember. Us as a viewer base, we're going to remember the last thing we experienced, and that's this event, or maybe the new event to come. So you better.
This is a flaw with a live service game. You always have to go bigger.
Yep. It's like Dragon Ball,
and it's gonna eventually hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
It's going to eventually hit a ceiling, and
well, this is the ceiling. This is the big thing. But then they've still got 2 massive DLC planned, like the oh fuck, I can't remember the names. I don't care. You can look it up. There's 2 big DLC coming out in 2021, 2022.
Right. But that's my thing, right? There's 2 big DLC, like 2 big expansions, but I mean, MMOs are like World of Warcraft, for example. Since like fucking Mists of Pandaria, I swear to God, no one's been happy with the expansion. Everyone has found a complaint with the expansions.
Yeah.
There will come a point where, because people are still happy with Destiny, because it's still kind of fresh in this online scene.
Well, they've been leading up to this DLC since the beginning of Destiny. Going back and playing the campaign with my friends that are playing it, I've seen these little bits and pieces that have teased at the pyramids coming. So this is the content that they wanted to lead to.
Also mentioning like just Destiny 1, like you've got the Stranger coming back. Like people have been complaining about going,
where the fuck is she? Yeah.
Like she had a reason to be there, and now she's just not there for Destiny 1. What happened?
So now it begs the question, have these new DLC that's going to come afterwards, have there been teasers that we know what we've already had, like we did for this, or how are they going to keep the hype up? You know, has it been teased? Has it been led to? I don't know.
And as well, the other problem that falls with MMOs and online games like this is, it's going to get a point where it's going to feel way too daunting for new players too.
That's why I think it's a really, really good thing that they brought in this new player experience AI to walk them through, make it nice and simple, because it's not a simple game if it's thrown at you all at once like it was right now.
Yeah, I agree. And especially when you do have like base game as free to play, there's going to be a lot more people that try out your game, but they're not going to buy it, the rest of the content, if they don't understand it. But I mean, just like with the amount of content that is in it for new players, it's a very stressful time to get into. Even MMOs that have a decent fucking tutorial, which I cannot name.
No, I cannot.
MMOs have fucking shit tutorials, just in general.
Yeah.
But it's always daunting to join, and just like ignoring MMOs, it's always daunting to join an online experience later in the game.
Yeah.
That's why you have such a high player count early on, because everyone's freaking out because they're like, if I join later, I'm going to be so behind everyone else. I'm just not going to feel like I ever catch up.
If you don't have someone there to help you, you don't know what you should be looking for, what guns are good, what perks are good, what's going to help you.
Destiny, since Destiny 1 first came out, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm looking
My mate said, they said to me, if you weren't here to help us and walk us through and let us know what we should be looking for, what we should be doing, we probably would not have kept playing because it was too confusing. But now I know how to play the game, so I can play it by myself now. But before, I would have had no idea. So
again, that comes in with later DLCs. Like for me, I've always tried to come back to Destiny 2, but every time I get back into it, the meta's changed so much that I'm like, I now no longer know what I'm looking for again. Fuck. And like, and so I always struggle getting back into Destiny 2 because the meta changes constantly, which it should change in an online game. But I think that is something that people need to look at when it comes to live services, that they're always going to have that struggle. Like, and they're going to have a struggle to keep the player base because there's not enough content. They're going to then have the opposite problem of they're not going to be able to bring in too many new players because there's too much content. That's why I truly feel like if for a live service that's really going to work, it's got to start off with enough content, which no live service game has done that yet.
No, but we'll see what happens. I suggest if people are interested in starting Destiny 2, wait until the next DLC comes out and that new player experience is there for you, so it's a little easier.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. Actually,
unless you have a friend that's willing to spend the time with you. Unless you have one like me, a kind and compassionate friend, just wanting to help the new players get their little Guardian boots on and shoot things.
Right.
I'm a role model, Andrew. That's what I'm trying to say.
Pardon?
I'm a role model. I can't help it. People adore me.
All right.
So what were you going to say?
I do have a story, and I have forgotten the name. I forgot to write it down, but I just wrote. But no, so MSI, big company.
Cousin of KSI, if you didn't know, guys.
MSI is a computer company. They sell you laptops, they sell graphics cards, etc., etc. Now, we all know that the new NVIDIA graphics cards came out, the 30 series. I pre-ordered one. The day of, I pre-ordered one and I still haven't got it. I pre-ordered the MSI 3080, the Ventus or the whatever. I don't remember which one it was, but it has 3 fans because cooling.
Thank God for cooling.
And the reason why I bought it is because it had the best cooling. My aux cord keeps coming
everywhere, dude. Stop being so aggressive with your wires.
I know. No, it gets caught on my I
don't care about your fucking worries. Just tell me about MSI.
So anyway, back to fucking cunt. So no, I was actually wondering like, where the fuck is my fucking MSI 3080? Well, of course they haven't been manufactured yet, but MSI got caught out a little bit. Got a little bit caught out.
Did you mention this to me? Because this sounds familiar.
I did mention this to you. So, a company was selling like scalped MSI 3080s and 3090s for almost double the price.
What a surprise.
That's what scalpers do, right? A company was doing it. Turns out it was called Starlit Partner, which is a subsidiary of MSI. So essentially, MSI's own subsidiary of MSI was selling MSI graphics cards for double the price and scalping them.
Yeah.
They were essentially like, well, we could earn money legally,
or we can give these guys stock.
Shady cunts and sell them for double the price on eBay. Now,
cool.
Look, it's shitty what you're doing in the first place, but like from my perspective, as someone who's bought one of your fucking graphics cards and is waiting still a month and a half now.
We should have a shady list of companies. We should have a leaderboard after every week and see what happens.
We're waiting over a month to even be told, hey, your graphics card's come in, we're gonna start shipping it soon. My order says still processing. I spent fucking $1,500 on this shit. And I'm waiting, it's still processing. And these cunts have the fucking audacity to give their subsidiary, their own little fucking subsidiary partner, to fucking sell them double the price, and also have the audacity to say we don't have enough to sell and give to other companies to then, give to the people who've already purchased the fucking graphics card. It's so frustrating. I'm sorry, Mitchell. I don't mean to scare you, but I'm mad. This is $1,500 that I'm talking about that I'm fucking I don't have in my hand yet.
I just ordered dice online. Play my little dragons and dungeons.
Definitely looks like a fucking wizard.
Yeah.
But no, look, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. That's all it is. It's
so bad.
In fact, they had the audacity to also say, "Oh, this was an error."
Yeah.
This was an error.
That's garbage.
What they normally do is apparently they give old stock to this company to sell on eBay, etc. But they happen to the error was they gave new stock. The new stock in. Fuck off. You would not have done anything if you didn't get caught out. Bull fucking shit. And the fact that you, again, had the audacity to double the price. Like, double the fucking price. Absolute joke, man. It's an absolute joke. Fuck you, MSI.
Yeah, no, let's make a leaderboard. Let's have a shady company leaderboard. Obviously, we got EA and Ubisoft 1 and 2, but everything else will be fluctuating week by week.
Yeah.
It's a Nerdspice exclusive.
Ubisoft at the top.
Yeah, Ubisoft and EA.
Oh, equal? Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Activision and MSI also equal, I reckon, at like 3.
Yeah.
And then everyone else.
We'll make a graphic. It'll be great. You know animation. Anyways.
Here's the thing, right? I feel like MSI, I will never lose this reputation, in my opinion. I will never actually forgive them because
I licked my microphone and there's an aftertaste tang in the back of my throat.
Actually, I put some moisturizer on my face earlier, right? Get a bit of the schmegma gets attached to the mo.
Yeah, just to make sure the porno mo is alright.
I had a drink of water and so some of the moisturizer that was attached to the mo came off in the water and then came into my mouth. So I drank moisturizer. It was disgusting. It was really gross. It was just like drinking soap. Loved
Yikes. All right. Is that it? I'm done. I'm done.
So final words. You've been Nerdspiced.